Lily, how are
Hi.
you? Hi, everyone. This is Lily from Ground Burgers,
Hello.
Green Red Meat on Instagram, and you've just launched these wonderful, wonderful burgers.
Yeah,
Uh,
you did a great job,
look,
guys. Well done.
I was about to say, not only are they super tasty, they're super easy to make, and they just turn out perfect,
I
buddy.
know you whipped that up super quick. I was impressed, and yours was like perfect all the way around, like a supermodel burger. I was impressed. It looked great.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I did that. It must have been the wonderful instructions that come with the burger, mate.
Perhaps. Well, we did go through quite a rigorous testing round with these kits to make sure that the things like the instructions, if we sent it to someone and they said, oh, this didn't quite work, then we went back to the drawing board to try and make it, better for the next round. So they have, we've put in the time and the work to make sure that we're ending up with a pretty good kit at the end of it, so I'm glad that that is kind of showing through when someone who hasn't had it before goes to use it and it works out well.
Exactly. And when you get a couple of mugs like Jack and I that can just cook it
Well,
like that.
hardly mugs. You've cooked a fair few burgers in your time, but still, like, it's good to know that it's easy to get through. It makes me feel a bit better about sending them out into the world.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I can see you've gone to a tremendous amount of detail in everything, in every single ingredient in there, in
Yeah.
source from sustainable sources the regenerative meat. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of the kit has been to create there's so many burger kits out there now, which is great because, all these restaurants have been closed, and I'm so proud of my industry for like getting on their feet again and just like creating something completely new. But we did want to try and stand apart from the other burger kits out there, and obviously working with the ethical butcher, we just figured like let's try and make the most environmentally friendly kit that we can possibly do. And we have the meat already from ethical butcher from all the regenerative farms, which is incredible. And if you guys don't know much about regenerative agriculture, then you should definitely start looking into it because it's just so interesting. But yeah, we then made sure all of the other parts of the box were like either local, like from like super sustainable sources, like the oil that we use to pre-cook the chips is from a company called Farrington Oils, and that is carbon neutral oil. So it's things like that, just like going that extra mile to try and get the best possible like environmentally friendly produce to then create as a whole a better kit for the environment.
you've done wonderfully. One little suggestion.
Yes, go for it.
I think you need a bit of a beard there.
Do you know what? We're actually looking into merch at the moment, so I'll bear that in mind. A burger drip bib, I like it.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that, but anyway, they're
No,
just
well, I think it's a sign of an enjoying your meal, right?
yeah.
It's a compliment to the creator. I'll take that.
No worries. Thank you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to create Ground Burgers. Have you just been online, or I said
Yeah,
you?
well, I actually have another street food company called Steakhouse. So that's a steak and chips company that's been running in London for actually 6 years now. So I've been doing sort of that very much so, slinging steak and chips by the thousands over the years. Festivals, markets, we're in Camden Market as well, full time. And because of that company, I got to then know the guys at the Ethical Butcher, Farshad and Glenn, who you've obviously know. And yeah, selling all these steaks was weighing on my conscience a little bit. I was, you're hearing all this bad stuff in the news about beef and the environment, and here's me selling so many steaks that I was like freaking out a bit about it. So I heard about the Ethical Butcher. I was like, I need to talk to them. They're going to sort out my problems. And yeah, obviously now they supply the meat to Steakhouse, and we try and make Steakhouse as sustainable as possible. But a conversation came up about, balancing carcasses and what could we do with the mince from, that was left over once all the prime cuts from a cow carcass is sold. So we started thinking on about this burger side of things. Could we sell the mince to people? And do you know what, Farshad and I and Glenn, and we just all got talking. We were like, I think actually we could create our own like pretty amazing brand and really bring this to the forefront of, you know, this regenerative agriculture movement. And because a burger is something everyone loves, right? And it's like very accessible. It's a, you know, lower cost item. So if we can use the mighty burger to get this message across, then why the hell shouldn't we, you know? And that's kind of where that all started. And it's been a year in the making now, at least, with Ground. And obviously because of Corona, we weren't able to do what we wanted to do last summer. So now we are going down the DIY kit route like everyone else, but we hope to be up in like a residency pretty soon in somewhere in London. So yeah, we're getting there. As with so many people over the past 12 months, you've just had to sort of change your plan a bit and get going. But I think like we all need to start thinking a little bit more about the environment and the climate and where we get our food from, because yes, beef can be bad for the environment. That is 100% true. And potentially if you're eating all meat from, you know, feedlots in South America, then you potentially should reduce your consumption of that. But if you're eating beef from a really great source like regenerative farms here in the UK, you're actually working to heal the land rather than harm it. Like regenerative agriculture here is improving biodiversity, it's sequestering carbon. There's so many benefits to it. So I think yeah, there's a lot of bad press out there for beef, but actually it's a lot of it is misinformed, because beef doesn't have to be like that, as I'm sure you well know. So yeah, if we can use Ground and this burger kit to help educate people a little bit and give them a goddamn delicious meal at the same time, then we're winning, you know.
Right. Well, remember to put a couple of finished tablets in there, I think, you know. But
yeah,
anyway.
that cleaning, yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, we'll have to give that a warning, a sign on the front of the box. May cause your wife to get angry at burger stains down the t-shirt.
No, that's great. That's great. No, it's really, really, really fascinating, and really honored that to chat to you, that to see that you hooked up with
Oh
me.
no, thank you so much for trying it. Honestly, like this is all part of it. We just want people to try it and to see, and you know, hopefully tell their friend about it or whatever, you know, like it's just been such a process, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. And now actually getting people to see them eating it and trying it, that's what it's all about really when you have a food business, you know. It's just hearing that you've, you know, had someone enjoy your food. That's all what it's all about.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And are there any other plans for regenerative farming, or other things with beef, or other ingredients at this stage, or
in terms of what we and other products that we would do? Yeah, I mean, definitely. I want to definitely expand. Maybe look at different burgers to start with, and then potentially other products. I mean, I'd love to look into some sort of venison, because that's obviously a super sustainable meat product. But yeah, I mean, obviously the guys at Ethical Butcher are doing great things, and they have like soy-free chickens as well, and this amazing bacon. So with all of their produce sort of at my fingertips, like there's definitely going to be some exciting things to come in the future for sure.
Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, I'm really honored to have joined up with you, and
Oh no, the feelings mutual. Honestly, it's this is what it's all about, you know, meeting new people that you would never normally kind of cross paths with. I love that this industry can do that for us. And yeah, I'm glad that you guys had fun today cooking the burgers, and I'm quite jealous that you're drinking whatever you're drinking there, to be honest. I need a glass of that.
Yes, our wine sponsor supplied us with an organic Tempranillo. So,
ooh, sounds delicious.
Very nice. And Glenn's just available now.
Okay.
Should we join him in? I know he was running a little bit late.
Yeah, go for it. Glenn's got way more knowledge about all this stuff than me, so let's bring him in and you can ask him the serious questions.
But yeah, Lily, it's a wonderful burger. That was so easy to put together. The instructions were great. All of your condiments are lovely. All of the ingredients have just got that extra bit of flavour, that extra zing to them, I've found. You know, that baconaise is really, really bacony.
Yeah, well, that's because people like sometimes have bacon in their burger. I actually don't, because I don't like the two textures of the meat, but I do like the flavor of the bacon. So I thought, I'm gonna try and figure something out here. So I basically have created a burger that I love to eat, and I hope that other people will. But essentially, it's a selfish product because I just wanted to create something that I enjoy.
Wow. Well, you've done superb, Lily, and thank you. Let's join in with Jack and the Ethical Butcher, and they might have some more questions for you as well. So here we go. Let's see if we can get them both in. We haven't tried this before, so this might be a sort of wonder.
No worries.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
How you doing? You all right?
Yes, good, thank you.
Hey guys. Hi.
Oh, wow.
I am so sorry. I went climbing this morning over in East London and just have been sat in a horrific traffic jam trying to get back. Anyway, yeah, with the North Circular, I've just been stationary for about 40 minutes. So I'm really sorry I'm so late.
Look at the technology though. It's done us a service. Look at that.
I know, right?
But I caught the end of that. It sounds like you've enjoyed the burgers. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Lily and I have actually eaten quite a few of these this week because we did a 2-day shoot in my house.
Yeah.
So we must have cooked, what, 40 over, you know.
Yeah, a lot of burgers.
A lot of burgers have been cooked and consumed in this house. Well, I've had to put in a few extra gym sessions to try and compensate, I think.
Well, perhaps a quick question then. I've cooked mine probably a little bit medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you, and in the instructions there, it says you can cook medium rare and medium. It has the timings there. What's the recommendation for cooking the burger there? For cooking one of your burgers, because the meat's so good, you can probably go a little bit more rare.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I think the simple answer to that is just how do you like it? You know, I don't think there's any hard and fast rules.
Not at home, anyway.
No, exactly. There are some sort of limitations as to what we can do commercially with that, which I think Lily, knows more about than I do, because when the meat has been aged and minced, there are some sort of legal things around having it too rare. But at home, it's perfectly safe. You can do what you want with it. But I personally like it a bit pink in the middle, but not as rare as I might have a steak when I'm having a burger. And I think, for me, I like the contrasting textures between the sort of hard caramelized surface where you've got all that lovely Maillard browning and you get the caramelization. And then, you know, the difference of being a bit cooked and then a bit pink. I think for me, the three layers are what make it.
Yeah, you're right. If it's too rare, then you get a lot of juice and sort of blood.
Too much kind of water's coming out, exactly.
Yeah.
But also, you lose out on the three distinct kind of layers of flavor coming in there, I think.
That's what I like about the chilies as well. It adds that nice like punch of heat that you need in a burger, because sometimes things are quite fatty, like baconaise, you know, beef, cheese. That chili, lovely touch.
I think I do the pickles quite sharp as well for the same sort of reason, to help cut through the rest. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because that baconaise is just outrageous, isn't it? I mean, it's so naughty.
I know. On the shoot, we were eating it on spoons. Like, it's like so edible.
It's so naughty. It's so naughty. You get quite a generous pot, right? So you'll be putting that on your breakfast in the morning as well, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Mixed in with a little bit of scrambled egg.
Oh. But Lily, I don't know if you got to tell the guys about, you know, just the concept of the pickles, that sort of throughout the seasons, Lily's going to be making the pickles with whatever's, you know, available and in season. So at the moment it's rhubarb, which obviously has that lovely kind of tart, acidic kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Is it from Yorkshire? That's my one thing I thought about Yorkshire, rhubarb triangle.
Yeah, there's
triangle.
a lot of rhubarb there. Yeah.
Is that where it came from, Lily? Where are you sourcing it from at the moment?
It's from Yorkshire. I don't know which exact farm, because obviously I just get it from our supplier, but it's from Yorkshire, the rhubarb, which is another part of the process that I've really enjoyed, is like, you know, having to delve more into those sorts of details and find out where things are coming from, because we're obviously trying to make it as sustainable as possible. I need to ask the questions, whereas before I might not have done. So now it's like, yeah, okay, where did that one come from? Where did that, oh no, that's not going to be good, it's from Spain. Like, we're trying to only have UK ingredients in the kit to really like celebrate that. So it's been like a really great experience to sort of just start asking those questions as well, and looking more on food labels now when I go into shops too, because it's like in my brain. So yeah, it's something I think that everyone could do a little bit more of, and I think I'm being a bit nerdy about it, but
doesn't it, as well, Lily? Like, now you've made these contacts with people all around the country, and going forward, like, there'll be people you contact, you know, for projects, and and you've made the same with what we do on Sizzling Saturdays. Like, we've met you, Glenn, and obviously through Glenn we've met yourself, and you know, we're just trying to get this message out of making things more sustainable, more, you know, friendly to the environment.
And that's where it all has to start, really, because the big companies, they only latch onto it when it, you know, is going to put money in their pocket. But what we're doing here is just letting a few people know, and then hopefully it can continue, you know, and that's all you can do. And then that's what we must do to sort of help protect our future a little bit, you know.
And one of our ethoses really is also never to think that whatever we're doing is as good as it can be, but to keep pushing and keep asking questions. So, you know, at the moment, for example, we're sourcing the bread. Is it coming from Gail's Bakery, Lily? Or
no, we're Paul Roads at the moment.
Right.
But yeah, so the bun, Glenn's about to tell you, but that's just a bakery based in Greenwich that do, they've got a storefront, but also do like commercial side of things. But
so now we're trying to talk to bakeries who might be able to work with us, because we found one of the farmers in our network through Ethical Butcher who's got 40 tons of wheat he grew as a no-till experiment, if you like. So it was grown by drilling the seeds into the soil, so you're not ploughing it. Then it was harvested and the straw was left to compost back down into the earth. So he's got this 40 tons of carbon negative wheat. So that definitely would have put more carbon into the earth than was released in the production of it. So that's a fantastic crop, and we just need to find a bakery who can turn that into buns for us. And similarly, we're trying to do the same thing with our potatoes eventually. The same farmer grew a crop of above ground potatoes, because potatoes are actually a very destructive crop to grow, because you have to plow quite deep into the soil. And when you plow the soil, you're killing animals, you're releasing a lot of carbon, you're disturbing that that sort of fungal network that extends throughout the soil that kind of holds it all together. Rhizome, or I forget, mycelial network in the soil, which sort of gives the soil structure. It's like an information system within. Kind of breaking all this up. So this farmer found that he had a lot of straw left over. So he put the straw down and grew the potatoes with cow manure and straw on the surface of the soil. And then they were harvested by hand, and everything, all that nutrition, all the straw and the manure was just left to kind of rot back down into the earth to add more carbon back into the ground. So these are the things that we really want to kind of keep pushing. So every ingredient as part of this box meal can come from a form of regenerative agriculture. That's the sort of eventual aim with the brand.
Yeah.
It's so great as well that every product tells a story, and you know, people love that. And you know, when we are allowed to have gatherings again, people can sort of say, you know, this burger, this is from here, this is from there, and what a great way to, like, you know, inform your guests. So,
yeah, 100%.
And we're like you guys. We just love hearing the stories and love hearing where the food comes from. You know, the rhubarb triangle. Look it up.
I know, exactly. Well, that's the thing. So hope, you know, it's just
he's going to be guiding out on this for ages now. This rhubarb triangle thing.
Oh, Glenn's gone.
But yeah,
that's a problem.
Just a quick question for you then, Lily. Well, Glenn's away there, but the beef in the burgers. I'm always interested in the beef. So
yes,
tell us a little bit about the beef in the. It's got that really cheesy aged taste to it.
Yeah. So as I said before, like, the reason we started this is so we could balance the carcasses that they're using it to sell all the prime cuts with on Ethical Butcher. So for this particular project, we're getting our cows from 4 different farms in the UK, and they're either Pasture Fed for Life Association certified, which is an amazing thing, or they're kind of practicing at the same standard, or sometimes, you know, going even further than that. But yeah, so the meat itself, Glenn probably knows a little bit more about that, but I don't know how long it gets aged for, Glenn, actually. I don't know why I don't know that, but
I'd like to know the mix in there, if that's not
yeah,
secret.
so we use a bit of everything. That's why it's not, you know, we got to kind of get away from this is going to be the exact same every single time, because how we're able to make it so sustainable is that, yeah, some weeks it will have a bit of this in, some weeks it'll have a bit of that in, you know, because we're using the other parts of the cow that don't get sold for the prime bits. Whereas you normally get like a chuck burger or something, and it would be all from that one part of the cow. You only get so much meat from that one part of the cow. So in order for us to continue our sustainability, we're using all different parts of the cow together, right, Glenn?
Yeah, that's true. We're using pretty much everything except for the primal cuts. So, you know, after we've taken off, you know, all the rib cuts, the sirloin, the fillet, it's pretty much everything else. But what our butchers are really careful to do is to really spend the time to very carefully prepare the meat. So a lot of butchers will just tend to hack it into pieces and throw it in the mincer, and all the sinew and everything else. Doing it well is to actually trim the meat properly. So it's to separate the muscles, trim out the sinew, take the fascia off, and then make sure that the correct proportion of fat is gone through as well. And our butchers have really dialed this down, you know, to the point of it runs through twice on very specific settings, and we keep having to change the cutting nozzle on the mincing machine so that it's getting cut, not just smushed. You know, so there's been a lot of experimentation have gone into this. And with the slightly aged meat, it is about 30 days aged. We've worked with the FSA to try and work out how we can avoid having any preservatives in the meat with aged meat. And the way we've got around it is just by putting 1% salt in. So just by seasoning it, that's helped with the legality of, you know, of how this works.
Oh, wow. I mean, Jack, I don't know about you, but I'm not really getting any sort of additional salt flavour in there. It's perfectly balanced.
No, and I love the addition of the seaweed salt as well, because obviously that's obviously a naturally salty, you know, flavour like that, umami flavour, but it doesn't obviously add sodium. So obviously, well, I can probably give this to my 1-year-old daughter now, so brilliant.
Yeah, seaweed's pretty cool as well when you look into seaweed. Something, again, that I wasn't really aware of prior to starting this project, but obviously it's super sustainable because it doesn't need any soil or fresh water to grow. Like, so yeah, it's a great, nice little addition. That
so obviously that's what we get in our little pots, isn't it? Here we've got a little bit of seaweed salt.
Yeah. I think that's one of the instructions I didn't follow, Jack. So thanks for pointing that out.
You were showing off that you printed them out and like, oh no, got my instructions.
But no, I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing, and we're very proud to promote what you're doing. And if there's anything we can ever do to help out and make sure the message gets out there, you know, just follow it. We're here. We love our food, we love our meat, but we also like to know that it's been reared. It's good for the environment. It's good for everybody, not just, you know, up here eating it. That's all.
The win-win.
Yeah, and as Hilary said, like we started doing this at the beginning of lockdown, and it's great to see how restaurateurs and businesses have adapted and changed to basically survive. So yeah, the fact that people are doing these boxes now, home delivery boxes, is great.
Yeah.
So maybe then, Lily, how do we find your burger boxes now? Maybe tell everybody, how do we get a hold of them?
Oh, this is exciting. So we've actually opened for pre-orders today. So you can either pre-order on the Green Red Meat website or on the Ethical Butcher website. It's the same price on both platforms, so totally up to you. Yes, so that's available now to pre-order, and the boxes will be delivered on the 1st of April, not an April Fool's, real life delivering boxes.
No empty boxes.
Yeah, and then from then on, it will be like a kind of, there'll be like maybe 2 dates a week available for delivery, either like a Thursday or a Friday or Saturday or something. But yeah, that's it. We're pretty much ready to go now, and we are get selling boxes as we speak, which is an amazing thing.
Awesome.
So thank you everyone for your support and for like holding on while we get it all tweaked and ready to go for you. And yeah, come April 1st, they'll be landing on people's doorsteps.
And what we do after this, we'll put the pictures of the burgers in our stories. Swipe up link, so people just want to swipe up.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you.
Easy peasy.
Okay, then, and perhaps Glenn, what are some messages from the Ethical Butcher that you can pass on to the audience? Then, where can we find your meat, and you know, how can we find out a little bit more about the Ethical Butcher and some of the initiatives that you're involved in and what you're doing?
Sorry, I've got a really terrible connection. Everyone's coming out broken up and robotic, but I think you were asking me there about where people can find what we're doing. So ethicalbutcher.co.uk. As Lily said, that's one of 2 places where you can buy this burger meal box for 4 people. The other place is Ground Burger's own homepage, which is Green Red Meat. But yeah, either of those places, and these burgers are coming from the same animals that we're sourcing from the Ethical Butcher. And at the moment, they're mostly coming from a farm in Shropshire, from one of our incredible farmers, a guy called Neil Harley, who is practicing a lot of different types of regenerative agriculture, but mostly he's doing holistic planned grazing. So the cattle are moving onto fresh pasture every day. The land's rested 60 to 90 days before they return. But why we're so particularly excited about Neil's farm is that he's converting arable into pasture. So there are huge gains to be had here for improvement of biodiversity, improvement of soil carbon, and you know, it really is sort of showing how animals integrated into a rotation can really massively benefit the landscape.
Fantastic. Ethical Butcher on Instagram and the website, and loads more, and information about the farmers. Jack, I mean, anything else to add? I mean, all I can say, I want to get there and visit you guys.
Yeah, just a thank you for sending us this amazing box of burgers, and yeah, I've got 2 left, and the chips to have a nice Sunday lunch. So yeah, brilliant.
Amazing. No, thank you so much for trying it. And it's just also worth mentioning that every kit that gets bought, we're planting 4 trees as well. So
awesome.
Just to add to the environmental side of it, yeah, just to make us feel extra good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's right. We're using a company called Ecology, which is like the word ecology but with an I at the end. And the trees that get planted, the 4 trees that get planted, are mangrove trees. And the reason for that is mangrove has been decimated for things like shrimp farming, and you get this incredible growth rate. It's like the fastest growing tree that you can possibly plant. And it's basically a massive carbon sink. So the 4 trees that are being offset will that are being planted for each box sold will more than offset the carbon. So it can be said that this box that's going out is a carbon positive product, if you like, in that it'd be putting more carbon out of the atmosphere than the box has produced for any part of the production. And we use a carbon neutral carrier to dispatch the boxes. So we use DPD's carbon neutral system to get the boxes to people's front doors.
Amazing, mate. Fantastic with both of you. What you guys are doing. It's a real honor to speak to you here, to pass the message to people that follow us. So thank you very much. Anything to add, Jack, before we?
No, that's brilliant. Thanks for joining us. And again, the door is always open. You want to come back on?
Thank you very much, guys. I'm so sorry again I was late, but I'm really happy that you enjoyed the burgers from us.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.